Hey guys, and now that you've gone to all the trouble of installing a big red gear reduction in your Rincon, the one problem that you inherit from this modification is the fact that the auto shift doesn't work right. Now if you're one of those guys that don't care that the auto shift doesn't work right, then this is not a mod for you to do. However, if you want your bike to work like it used to before you did the gear swap, then there's some guys out of Canada that make a module that should fix your problem. This is the module here, and these are the guys, Rapid Revolutions. You can get all this information off of this page right here. Freeze it, call them, talk to them. They'll tell you all about it, how to get one. I will take you through the process of putting one on your Rincon, and we'll see the end result. And I will tell you what I think. So is it worth it? We will find out. There are a couple of warnings that I want to cover real quick. The instructions detail the warnings, but I'm going to give you an overview. The first one is to make sure if you have a winch installed that the power for the winch is not wired into your ignition switch, I believe, or say like the cigarette lighter, because I guess these can cause some voltage spikes to the module which can blow it, which, you know, would be bad. This of course is unique to my bike, but that's my selling one for my winch, and the power for it comes straight off of the battery post for the winch. So you know, it's live all the time, which I have no problem with that. But in my case, no big deal, but definitely check that. The second warning is to verify that your ground for your bike is also clean and that you don't have any corrosion going on. That's actually the ground for the machine. I would probably just, you know, take it off, clean it with a wire brush, put it back together, maybe put a little bit of dielectric grease on there, keep it from getting corroded in the future. They recommend that you wire this thing in power-wise into the cigarette lighter wires, which, you know, you can kind of feel where they're coming from. This is the cable here. You'll have to strip back the outer insulation protection, and you should see the wires in there. You have to remove your bezel off to get to all this, where your ECM and all that good stuff is. So I'll go ahead and get that done. After thinking about this for a few minutes, I believe what I'm actually going to do, and this is not any instructions, is I'm actually going to delete the cigarette lighter and just disconnect it and use the power wires for the cigarette lighter, which are switched on and off by the ignition, to power the module and the module only. The reason for that is if you use a cigarette lighter for something else, such as a high-powered halogen light or something like that, you know, I mean, who says that voltage spike won't cause you problems on that module? So I'd rather have it dedicated to the module and just do away with the cigarette lighter. The instructions do require you to solder these connections, so I will do that. I plan on taking an extra couple of measures too, but I want to make sure I do it as good as I can get it to ensure I don't have any problems. I basically squirted the shrink wrap tube full of dielectric grease. You should actually see it squirt out as the tube shrinks. So I know I got plenty in there. As it constricts, it's going to squeeze out all of what needs to come out. Come on, lighter. If you pull this inner plastic well out, you can see the connectors. These two are not what you're going for. They're on the opposite side. On this bracket here, you got one you got to slide off of this piece, and the other one is right there. This connector, yellow and blue. So the instructions will tell you, you just you have to match up your cables with the right connectors and put it in line on these two connections here, and this is how it adjusts the signal coming from the front differentials and all that good stuff. And you'll take the there's a wire that's a yellow wire in this harness that'll go to this yellow connector, and like I say, the instructions you get will tell you all this, but I'm just kind of pointing it out. And then you just put it in line on the other side. There you go. Make sure it locks in. So there's your harness in line on the factory connector. From here to here is your factory. Put that in line. That goes up to the module, intercepts the signal. Same thing with the other connector, it's the same way. Now I did put the wire loom on the wires myself. They don't come this way. I think it's a good idea to do that. Kind of protect the wires a little bit. Then you take these guys, slip them back up in here, and lock them back onto the tabs they were originally on. And do a little dress up, zip tying, put your cables, do a little cable management, and you should be golden on that deal. Maybe take this and, you know, reel it up, tuck it back up in there out of the way. I wouldn't leave it dangling like that. But that's your connections. Okay, so there's the installed module. You turn the ignition switch on, you get a red LED. You're supposed to, when you move the bike, it's supposed to start blinking. So we'll see. I'm gonna take it out for a drive now and see what we get. Well, took it out for a test ride. Everything works. Wide open throttle. Went from first to second to third without hitting the rev limiter. I think it's worth the money. Definitely will straighten out the auto shift issue you get when you do a big red gear reduction install. These guys out of Alberta, Canada, I believe it's Alberta, Canada. Yep, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. RapidRevolutions.com. Look them up if you're looking for this module. I believe they are the only people I know of that make it. So definitely a cool little add-on to put on your machine after you do a big red gear reduction. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative. And until next time, you guys take it easy. We'll see you on the trails.